Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Ayo Boxing from Mediba, and we're here to talk about if Errol Spence Jr. got exposed and if he'll be the same. So, Errol Spence Jr. just got dominated by Terrence Crawford this past Saturday in the biggest fight of the year. Everyone thought it was going to be a 50-50 match before the fight, with Crawford being the betting favorite by a slim margin. However, that was not the case, because Crawford beat up Spence very easily in every aspect, which was shocking to everyone, even to the people that predicted Crawford to win. Crawford has established himself as pound for pound number one and an all-time great, and he's finally getting the respect he deserves. But the people are not questioning Errol Spence. The main two questions are, did Spence get exposed by Crawford, and will Spence be the same after the punishment he received? And in my opinion, Spence did get exposed to a certain degree, and I'm uncertain if Spence can recover from this. A lot of people chose Spence to win this fight because of his style. Spence is a pressure fighter that overwhelms his opponents with volume, power, and body attacks. He's very physical and strong and has overwhelmed all of his opponents up to date. The assumption was that Crawford was not strong enough to deal with the pressure, but we found out that was false because Crawford exposed how basic Spence's style was. And no, I'm not saying that Spence was overhyped or that he's not an elite boxer. I think Spence is a talented fighter and he has one of the best resumes in boxing. I always held Spence in high regard, but Crawford showed how limited Spence's style was. Spence has fought the same way for his entire career, but that's understandable because if it's broke, don't fix it. But you have to remember that all of Spence's prior opponents pretty much stood in front of Spence. Furthermore, Spence has only fought orthodox fighters for the past 5 years or so. Spence had the style advantage over all of his opponents and was able to get away with things because of that. But Crawford is a different story. Crawford exposed that Spence can only fight in one certain way and cannot make the big adjustments when necessary. Spence had no answer for Crawford's jab, counterpunching, and footwork. He was getting beat up on the inside, and when Crawford was putting him on the back foot, he couldn't handle the pressure and aggression of Crawford. It looked like Derrick James and Spence had no real plan B and thought that they could overwhelm Crawford. Many people are now claiming that Crawford was carrying Spence and could have ended the fight way sooner after round 2. This leads into the second question, can Spence recover from this? Spence took a lot of physical punishment in this fight, and if you include prior incidents like the car crash and the eye injury, it's possible that Spence's body will not be the same, therefore affecting his durability and his pressure style. And it's likely that this could also affect his mental and fighting spirit. When a fighter loses his confidence, they are never the same. Donald Curry, who is also a Texas fighter, is a prime example. He was never the same after losing to Lloyd Honeyghan and then Mike McCallum. If the rematch happens, this can happen to Spence, and it's the worst case scenario, which is why nobody wants to see the rematch. But Spence is a dog and a warrior, so he's most likely going to activate the rematch clause. But can Spence make the necessary adjustments in the rematch? I'm not sure. The rematch will take place at 154, and I believe this will be beneficial for Spence. It's no secret that Spence is a big welterweight and has struggled in the past to make weight. I've seen several observations regarding Spence's physical condition in the fight. He looked off balance and wasn't taking the punches of Crawford well, so some suspect that Spence was dehydrated. So hypothetically, Spence should be healthier and stronger at 154, but we can say the same for Crawford. So making adjustments will be the most important thing for Spence. Derrick James has proven to be a good coach when it comes to making adjustments in a rematch. The Harrison and Castagna rematches that Charlo had are a testament to that. I believe that Spence has the talent to learn and make adjustments, but Terrence Crawford can also make adjustments and has proven to be the better fighter. Either way, I see Spence losing the rematch. Spence should take some time off and see where his body is at before he gets back in the ring. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Ayo Boxing with Mediba. Hit like, subscribe, and more content's coming your way.